Yes, guys, welcome back to the channel and another installment of What's He Doing?
What's he done?
Why has he done that? This series is dedicated to looking at who's at fault for all of these goals going in, and there are a lot of goals this weekend, Sean.
There are. There's 8 in one game.
8 in one game. Newcastle were on fire, or Sheffield were just on soap. Let's get straight into it, shall we?
So, game 1, Man City versus Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, just 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0, boring game. Very boring
It
game.
was quite dull, but 2 goals to look at.
1 left back to look at. Nuno Tavares.
Tavares.
What's he doing? Completely forgets about Kyle Walker's run and then just leaves Foden wide open in the middle of the box for an easy goal.
Yeah, the way that they teamed up there, Walker, I mean, might have been a little bit lucky, but if he did know Foden was there, that is an absolutely astonishing pass. And Tavares has just sat in between the two of them. He's seen Walker try to track him, can't get to him. Walker's just far too quick.
Walker too quick.
And he's just left a huge gap for Foden, Foden's seen it. Foden's amazing. Foden's just seen that gap, got straight into it. Kyle Walker's either really bad touch or magnificent pass. Jury's out. He wasn't looking at Foden when he made that touch. So hopefully he did just have the instinct he was there. But yeah, quality goal. But yeah, we're saying Tavares, dunce.
This should be called runner, not walk.
Okay.
Oh, that's rude.
So the second goal from Haaland, he is in acres of space. Sean, who's done it? What's he done?
So, Niakate, he has been spun like a tumble dryer. Ball's whipped in. He's nowhere to be seen. Haaland is wide open at the back post. Like, wide open.
And we're talking yards. If you watch the game, watch the highlights. There are 6-7 yards between Haaland, 6'5", top goal scorer of anywhere, and any defender. The defender just ran away from him. The cross could be 3 foot above that guy's head. Haaland's still getting his head to it. He could probably get his legs to it. Honestly, you can't just make that mistake against Man City. No wonder it was 2-0. Okay, game 2 this week was Wolves versus Luton. Another quite dull, lifeless game, but 2 goals, 2 people at fault. Sean, who's at fault and what's he doing?
So Tom Lockyer has about 15 yards extra on Pedro Neto.
That goal where he's just so much further ahead, it gets absolutely blitzed.
Yeah, he's got 15 yards on him and loses the race, and then he can't do it.
He's got a technical foul in there. I'm sorry, but that's not a goal scoring opportunity. You take the yellow card. If you're getting absolutely spun, you have the technical foul, or at least clear the ball away, not stumble over it.
By the time they got together, they were in the box, so the technical foul would be...
No, he made first contact way outside the box near the corner flag, and the guy cut in. Pedro cut in. He should have done something a bit more. I think he was just a bit soft on the ball. No, not very strong, not very aggressive.
And very slow.
Very slow.
15-yard head start and he still lost.
Yeah, Pedro Neto, pace.
So the second goal,
Yeah.
who's at fault for it?
Now this one is a controversial one because there is no way that that is a pen. It is a deflection off of his leg and his arm is balancing him. Same as when you take a free kick, your arm swings back. That is a natural technique position. It's not natural for if you're just standing there with your mate at a bar, but it is definitely natural if you're throwing a block with your leg out, trying to keep yourself balanced. The fact that it's hit his hand is pure fluke. It's not on target. He'd already made the block. The ball's going up in the air. That is ball to hand. He's not intentionally done it. His eyes are closed, looking down. VAR's got every opportunity to see that, and they don't.
Yeah, so we said Josh Smith was at fault, the ref.
The referee is a dunce right here, because he should have just easily gone to the screen and just gone, okay, that's actually an accident. I made a mistake. Instead, he's just stuck to his guns and been a soppy git. Okay, Sean, what a game, Everton versus Brentford. No one saw this coming. Not the pundits. No one saw Everton getting 3 goals. A win, certainly not. Dominic Calvert-Lewin having an immediate impact on this. However, 4 goals to dissect here. Number 1, who's at fault? What's he doing?
Mads Rozolev, he's just absolutely cold ball watching, and then Decore is wide open, like more wide than Haaland was.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He is left with so much space to control that volley. He just absolutely wings it to the far right post. Goalkeeper, no chance. And Mads Rozolev is just watching, stood there, completely walks away from Decore. Doesn't even see him sneak around the back of him. So onside position, great goal. Dance.
So the equaliser for Brentford.
Yeah.
Who's at fault, Carl?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Pickford again with his tiny little T-Rex arms. It just went through his hand. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. We're watching it, seeing if it spins off of his thumb. But even then, his hand's too low. He should be watching that ball. I know they get pinged at a rate of knots, but at the same time, he's got a bare paw and a glove that makes it even bigger. It should be hitting that and parrying outwards so a defender can clear it. Not just hitting it, going straight through it like a weak gate. Still going to exactly where it was. They're not exactly hitting him at 90 mile an hour, Sean.
Saved it into his own net.
Saved it into his own net. I'm not surprised he started slapping the ground. He made up for it later on, but...
Oh yeah, big saves later on.
We don't like blaming the goalkeepers, but Pickford, come on, man. In the gym, start working on them. You've got to be able to stop them balls. All right, Sean, moving on to goal number 3. Who's at fault? What's he done?
Matthias Jensen, from this corner, he doesn't even know the corner's been taken. He's looking at Tarkowski the entire time like he's in love with him. And then simple header for Tarkowski because he just pushes Jensen out of the way.
Yeah, it's a story as old as time, when one marker falls in love with their striker and they just gaze, letting them jump, letting them nod in a goal that puts them ahead so their team's suffering. You've at least got to look to see where the corner's coming so you know to turn and then look and then perhaps jump. But even if he'd have pulled him down, it's a foul and it's a pen. He's not trying to engage with the ball. He was just staring fully at Tarkowski.
Well, if he'd have managed to head it without facing it, that'd have been sick.
That would have been recreations. Or it would have knocked him out.
Oh, yeah, mine done him.
Yeah, it did, Drew, from the back of the head. But yeah, we're calling him the dunce of that goal because you've got to be looking, you've got to be putting more pressure on than that. You can't just be staring into your man's eyes just lovingly like that, okay? This isn't Love Island.
So, the game finisher, Everton 3-1. Who's at fault?
Well, it's obvious. Nathan Collins. What is he doing?
What is he doing?
What's he done? This is another one of them classics where they're trying to be clever at the back and you've just absolutely milked the cow the wrong way. It's just completely gone wrong.
You're 2-1 down and you want to dribble it out of your own 18-yard box.
It's all well and good thinking you're prime Bayern Munich or you're, prime Thierry Henry and all the ones where they've just got 5-star dribble, but come on. At the back there, that late in the game, you need to be pinging it up their championship style. They need to lean into what they're good at, which is getting that ball up high. But all this messing about at the back, they've conceded a third. Dominic Calvert-Lewin returning to the Premier League with an absolute bang. What did I say about him in my Everton prediction?
Yeah, I think he's washed, but Garner does well because he pounces on the opportunity.
Yeah, well, you can pounce on all you like. It is just a brilliant goal. And yeah, dunce for Nathan Collins. Can't argue.
Talking of brilliant goals, Man United versus Burnley, there's only one goal to talk about. And no one's at fault.
No one.
Because it's a screamer.
It is. It's brilliant.
The ball from Johnny Evans is perfect.
It is.
The volley from Bruno Fernandes is perfect.
The Canio vibes is just amazing.
But there's nothing else. No one could have done anything differently to stop that from happening.
Burnley's team were all lined up great. No one out of position. No one can track that run. It is a brilliant lofted through ball.
50 yards.
50 yards, and Bruno Fernandes absolutely buries that on the right foot. No one's getting near that. That's come off his foot so quick. Keeper is no chance. Unlucky for Burnley not to get a point, but it is what it is. Sorry, Burnley, but no one's at fault. Okay, game 5 is one we don't really want to talk about. It hurts us to see Chelsea so devastatingly awful.
It hurts me to my core.
To see Nick Jackson miss so many opportunities. To see Sterling not quite perform as well as he did at the beginning of the season. It is frustrating to spend £1 billion and not be able to buy a win, especially with Aston Villa when we look so dominant in the first half. There is only one goal. There's a bit of debate here. There's a bit of a fight.
Between us.
Because I don't like blaming the goalies. It's very difficult to do their job. In my opinion, Thiago Silva has dropped the ball here. He's receiving an easy pass, isn't looking. He doesn't even touch it. It bounces in front of him. And that leads up to the clear run for Aston Villa to get that ball to Ollie Watkins to then scream it through Robert Sanchez's legs. And yes, he shouldn't be getting done from that distance at that angle through his legs.
I mean, it's pathetic goalkeeper. He does a heel touch. Like, what are you doing?
I know it is comical. The goalkeeper can't be expected to perform miracles. He should have been closing that down, had his legs closed a bit more. He shouldn't have like a massive ball gap there. And Colwill did great. Can't argue there. It's not his fault. But for me, the lead up to that play, about 10 seconds prior to the goal going in, is Thiago Silva's horrific lack of touch.
Thiago Silva's poor control does lead to the DRB counter-attack, which is lethal.
It is what it is. And we don't like seeing Chelsea lose, but we do need to be humbled every now and again.
Got 4 points from 6 games.
Yeah, well. Relegation!
That sounds like relegation!
Thiago Silva, what's he doing?
What's he done?
Robert Sanchez.
You got off lightly, okay? Because you're a goalkeeper. Otherwise...
Only because of the bylaws. Close your legs.
Heads post to walls. So, 6th game of the week, the North London derby.
Game was so good.
4 goals to talk about. 2 of them are very obvious who's at fault, but the other 2.
Because one person is to blame for 2 goals here.
Both very unlucky as well. Like,
Still. We've got to give a double dance to Christian Romero.
the Rolls Royce.
Mm-hmm.
He's now a Chrysler.
He is. So this first goal that he conceded was very unlucky is the wrong word. We're gonna call it unprofessional, because there's no way he should just be lifting up his leg like that. It's just ridiculous. It's clearly just a reflex, but he should know better than to do that.
I I think he's done the right thing in trying to block it, because if that gets through, it's going in, like in off the post.
I don't think the keeper's got that.
The way the ball's moving, it looks like it's going in off the post. Saka's done it before.
Yeah,
You know,
that's his trademark goal.
that's his shot that he loves doing. And the ball is on track to just side netting left-hand side.
Okay.
So I think he's done what he could. It's
Well, he's arguably out of position then if he's only managed to get his left leg up and the ball is supposedly going in front of him to go far post.
I think it's just unfortunate where it's hit him and just bounced into the other side of the goal.
Fair enough.
Keeper can't do anything. He can't do anything.
So we're giving Christian Romero a double. What's he doing?
What's he done?
How has he done that?
Well, the second one is just silly. Silly boy.
Yeah.
He's got down on one knee. Instead of proposing,
He's flapped.
he's gone, oh no,
He's flat. He's gone down like this.
let me save the ball.
He's gone down like this. No, he's not gone down arms out or to balance or to brace. He has genuinely gone down with arms, little flappy arms out, like a flappy bird, like he's trying to get through the little gap. He is genuinely just absolutely messed the bed here. It's a Stonewall pen.
And the fact it still took 5 minutes for them to give the penalty shows they have no idea what they're doing still.
Couldn't agree more.
Like they don't know. Is it a handball? Is it a handball? If it doesn't hit his hand, it goes in the goal. Of course it's handball.
Of course it's handball.
Pathetic. Now, both of Arsenal's goals that they conceded, the first one is irony at its finest.
This made us laugh. We enjoyed this. As much as we don't like Tottenham, we also don't like Arsenal. Saka, what's he doing?
What's he done?
We're giving it to you, my man.
How are you going to nick a man's celebration and then get spun by him? Sent to Morrison's by Maddison. It's just pathetic.
Yeah, Maddison, well done. You absolutely sent one of England's best players to the shops and then chopped it in for Son. Great finish. All the defence between Son and the goal, still got it in. I bet Son slept like a baby that night.
Well, Maddison sends Saka to the bench to go and get Jorginho.
Yes.
The second goal, classic Chelsea Jorginho.
Yeah.
Just spot on. Pissing about with it in midfield.
How is it that an ex-Chelsea player has helped Arsenal lose the London derby?
I mean, the Chelsea curse at Arsenal is living deep.
Living deep. Jorginho and Havertz doing it for
Gives me
us.
something to love.
That's it. Arsenal must be so frustrated and Tottenham are licking up the milk from around their lips.
Czech, Willian, David Luiz, Havertz, Jorginho.
Yeah. Our sloppy seconds are just doing great at Arsenal.
What a death row.
Sorry, Jorginho, but Dunce, what's he doing? Dunce. Simple. So another goal fest, Game 7, Liverpool-West Ham. West Ham were playing great, Ishol.
The counter-attack West Ham have is lethal. Like, it's just,
Yeah, it was deadly against us.
yeah. They've got it down to a fine art.
David Moyes doing good with the counter-attacks. Doing a lot better than a lot of people predicted, but there are 4 goals to break down, and we're going to break them down, because there are dunces here.
Let's break it down.
So goal number 1, we're putting down to Aguerd.
What's he doing?
What's he done?
So Aguerd has given away a penalty, and for the life of me, I don't know how it's not a red card.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's just absolutely chopped Salah, and he's just gone, oh.
Last man, goal scoring opportunity. He's on the penalty spot, Salah is, and then not even a booking.
Yeah, so we need some comments down here to tell us why it's not a red.
Because, I don't know. You figure it out. No, he is completely at fault because he gives away the penalty. And Salah does what he does best. Scores goal.
Yeah. Planted it straight down the middle. He did then yeet it straight at the ball boy, but I don't know what's going on there.
I mean, at least he didn't kick the ball.
True, yeah. Okay, so the second goal, Sean once upon a time thought that Virgil van Dijk was Ballon d'Or level, and yet he has had an absolute howler, hasn't he, Sean?
If you don't pick up a glass like this, you're weird.
If you pick up a glass like that, you're going to jail. Go on a chair.
You got on the chair. Got on the chair.
Ready?
I was born ready.
So the equaliser for West Ham was Jared Bowen. Great header, brave header, and obviously the dunce is going to go to Virgil van Dijk.
What's he doing?
What has he done there, Sean? You thought this guy was Ballon d'Or level.
Yeah, he's fallen off recently, hasn't he?
Hasn't he just?
Yeah, he's not that good.
He's horrendously out of position. He has no agility to get back. And Bowen has managed to get his head all the way to, again, where James Ward-Prowse got it last week against Manchester City. The exact same goal, where the defender is nowhere and just can't get to it. Just lifts a little leg out. Sort of tries. Virgil van Dijk is a monster. 6'4" million. And little Bowen has just managed to go, poof, straight in. And Alisson can do nothing about it because the header is jammy, let's face it. Bowen wasn't aiming bottom left, but he's got it in the goal. Well done.
The fact Van Dijk hasn't detached his head is surprising because he's very nowadays, Van Dijk.
Yeah, Bowen's a very brave man.
If Van Dijk went to clear that, Bowen's head would have been in row F. Would have been with the fans. But no, Van Dijk commits far too close to Antonio, and that leaves Bowen wide open at the back post. Van Dijk doesn't trust Matip. I think that's what it is.
I think I'm seeing that too. I see where you're coming
He
from.
doesn't trust him. When Konate's on, Van Dijk looks better. Matip's there. He's like, no, I've got to mark him too.
Well, last week Matip got absolutely left. Like in our last video,
Oh yeah,
you said is that Matip got absolutely spun.
Matip did get left in there.
That doesn't surprise me that in a game situation, Virgil van Dijk feels like he's got more on his shoulders, so he's got to be in more places. And he's going to make mistakes like this when he feels as a one-man band.
Well, only one centre-back made a mistake for Liverpool. Both centre-backs made the mistake for West Ham's next goal that they conceded.
Yes, they did.
Kurt Zouma and Aguerd, what are you doing?
What have they done here? We have to give a double dance for this one. Not only is this ball from McAllister glorious.
Wait, let's recreate what the centre-backs do.
Okay.
Ready? Oh no.
Oh no. And the little dink, we saw Havertz score one of these last year for Chelsea, not Arsenal. Because he ain't going to score one for Arsenal. And where it just lobbed over the top, little dink to the left. There's nothing Areola can do about that. He's just going in. Darwin Núñez probably quite lucky, but he's aiming for the goal. Congratulations. But yeah, double dance for the two centre-backs.
Both centre-backs. What are they looking at?
What are they doing?
Yeah, that's the name of the show. West Ham conceding from a corner. Who just get
Oh, it's classic.
me?
The ball is done him.
Yeah, Edson Alvarez. He's sat on the floor when the ball goes in.
Yep.
Because he's been absolutely bodied by Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, like we said earlier, Virgil van Dijk, when he's playing well, is a wall. He's just brick.
It's similar to Jensen, where he's just not paying attention to the ball, and Van Dijk just runs through him. I mean, he does also punch the ball to Jota.
Yes, he does. So he tries to defend this, absolutely messes it up. Maradona's it to Jota, who's got a 2-yard smack.
We're lucky that Jota scored, because it would have taken approximately 25 minutes for them to give that as handball, even though he's punched it.
We may even still be waiting for that now.
But they're giving it.
But yeah, we have to give it to Alvarez. Dance of this goal, absolutely firming Liverpool's win.
There's only one good Alvarez. That's true.
Ballon d'Or winner for Sean.
Second place Ballon d'Or.
Second place.
Both. Watch the other video.
So the penultimate game, Brighton-Bournemouth. Good game. Brighton went 1-0 down. What is he doing?
What's he done?
Has to go to.
So Verbrugen, for some reason, thinks he's a ball-playing centre-back and completely loses the ball. Like, gets stand tackled and the ball is within 5 yards of him. And then he just sprints back to his line, but still gets lobbed from 20 yards.
Yeah, I mean, Solanke with a great shot. One you'd expect him to hit. And Verbrugen, I'm not sure what he's tried to do, like Sean said. He must have just been focused on where he's passing and not expecting the pace to come from this challenge. But what's he doing? It's literally the name of the title is what we're screaming at the goalkeeper here. That's why we've called it this.
What's he done?
Because it's just a good demonstration of how frustrating it is as a viewer to watch a football player at this level make a mistake so silly.
I mean, he's lucky that Brighton came back in this game.
Yeah.
Because if they hadn't, the fans would have been at his neck.
He's a very lucky boy because Brighton then come back and equalise. And the dunce of that goal is
Kerkez, because he scored against his own team. Why has he headed the ball? He doesn't need to jump up for the ball. He doesn't need to be in the situation at all. We don't know if the keeper's called for it. If the keeper hasn't called for it, it's the keeper's fault. But if he has called for it and he still managed to lob his own keeper, that's embarrassing.
based on the position Kerkez is in as a goalkeeper, he's a little far away for the keeper to run out and try and claim that or punch because he's got 3 or 4 defenders between him and Kerkez. But where Kerkez has jumped and then tried to sort of hunch his head out of the way, it's still hit his head. Instinct will send you one way or the other. He's very unlucky, but he has to take the dance for this because it is just hit his head. He hasn't tried to header it clear. He hasn't tried to extend his neck. He has genuinely tried to duck a little bit out of the way, hit the top of his head, skimmed over the keeper and gone in the goal. Very unfortunate, but definitely a dance move. Shouldn't have got up that high. The keeper should have called that so he could claim it in his basket rather than having to go up and grab. Sean's bang on.
So Brighton's second goal.
Yeah. Now, compounding on Bournemouth's misfortune, Matoma comes on at half-time. Within 2 minutes, Sean, has an instant impact. Who's at fault?
Philip Billing is at fault.
Philip Billing, what are you doing?
What's he done?
You are getting the dunce for this one.
The clearance is pathetic. He's just kicked it straight at him.
It's horrendous.
Ball's gone miles in the air, come down, controlled by Matoma. 1-2 with the left back. Matoma's back in on goal. Simple finish.
Simple finish. It is just textbook football, training ground stuff, receiving it down, playing that quick 1-2. But yeah, Philip Bling has just had an absolute nightmare.
He doesn't even try and track back or mark up. He just realises what he's done and goes, oh no.
It's stuck in the mud syndrome. We discussed this last week. Whenever a player realises they messed up, it's like they have a 2-second penalty where they just have to stand there and go, what have I done? And then they just watch everything fall apart around them. It is stuck in the mud syndrome. That is going to be a thing on What's He Doing?
Stuck in the mud syndrome.
What's he doing?
What's he done? You bet your sweet baby I did.
So compounding Brighton's problems, making it 3-1. Matoma again, absolute world class. Future Bayern Munich star, in my opinion.
Your opinion?
Stole it from him.
Absolutely stole.
We're going to put the dunce of this goal to Zabiani.
What's he doing?
What has he done there?
Well, he's lost Matoma awfully. Like, he's gone blind for 3 seconds.
Almost stuck in the mud syndrome again.
Not even. Like, he's just not paying attention. He's gone, you know that really good Japanese player that they've got, who's like one of the best players in the league at the moment? I'm just going to forget about him and pretend he's not there, and then he won't touch the ball. And they played the ball straight to him, and he scored.
Scored. Great outside of the far post.
Zabiani's a young boy, but that is a schoolboy error.
It's a schoolboy error. Absolutely solidified Brighton's win. Their dominance at the moment in the Premier League is unprecedented, and it is undeniable. The Zabi is doing something there.
The Zerbi deserves plaudits.
So we clearly saved the best to last, because Newcastle went on a rampage at Sheffield.
They set Sheffield on fire.
Didn't they just? The Steel City got melted,
It got demolished,
smelted,
belted,
humbled,
crushed.
dragged back to the 18th century. They've never lost this badly in their history.
How badly did they lose, Carl?
8-0, which
Well-
is outrageous.
Well, the first goal, who's at fault, Carl?
First dance, Ahmed Hodzic.
You're going to hear that name a few times.
What has he done?
Well, he's tried to follow Gordon, who is much faster than him, and been absolutely spun on the byline.
There was a bit of basketball playing going on, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not handball if it is forearm. Oh, wait. Yes, it is.
It is.
What are the rules? He's kept it in the pitch with his arm.
VAR absolutely sleeping, like Sheffield. It's a great finish by Longstaff.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a tap-in. He's done well.
But yeah, Hodzic absolutely sleeping on his marker. Done nothing. Can't get to him. Can't keep up. He's just left. And goals. First of many, so let's move on.
So, Carl, who's the second man at fault?
Bafaldes?
What for these nuts in your mouth for? That's not a real name. You got played. I made that up to get you on the...
I have been duped here on the script. So the second goal is a brace dance now. Hodzic hitting the repeat button, going through a classic and making another mistake.
He's at the double.
What's he done again?
Well, this time, he's managed to lose Dan Burn, who he's much faster than, at the back post on a corner.
He's developed sticky hands as well at this corner, Hodzic, because Dan Burn's shirt is elasticated like he's going to ping it from like a Looney Tunes movie or something like that. He's just accelerated Dan Burn, and Dan Burn's then horizontal, where he can nod this ball in. And Dan Burn's about 14'12". He is a hoot boy, and Hodzic has just completely lost him, just gangling about, completely just staring and nothing more. Not watching the ball, not following his man, just completely sleeping. No wonder it's 2-0.
How do you lose a man like Dan Burn?
No idea, he's Big Bird.
He's Big Bird.
He's Dan Big Bird. His part-time job at 14 was a ladder. Okay, goal number 3. And there's a few more. Sean, who's to blame?
Luke Thomas.
What's he doing?
What's he done?
Absolutely left by Sven Botman. Sven Botman is, again, about a foot taller than him. He gets up early, and Thomas is nowhere near. He does try, bless him, but he cannot get anywhere near this. And we've only just not given this to the goalkeeper, because he took about 2 working days to dive after that header was hit. He took so long, if you go back and watch it, to react. He hadn't even started his dive before the ball was this far from the line. It was watch, then go, as opposed to diving as soon as that header looks like it's going in that direction. But we don't like blaming the keepers, and the marker was lost, so we have given it to Luke.
How he's let Sven Botman get in front of him is a crime against defenders.
This is Sheffield.
This is Sheffield.
Okay, Sean, goal number 4. Egan.
What's he doing?
What has he done?
Well, he's been caught ball watching, hasn't he?
Giving Callum Wilson about 14 square metres of extra space.
The whole box. He's on his own. The whole box. There are 2 players in the box with him, and that's John Egan, who's on the edge of the box, and the goalkeeper. That's criminal. from Sheffield United.
Yeah, Wilson is never missing that shot. It's an easy header. Keeper's got no chance unless he comes out and Superman dives that punch. And he's never doing it.
Superman, that ball.
Right, soldier ball. So yeah, dunce of that one.
John Egan.
Now we're halfway through the goals. We've got 4 separate scorers at this point at 4-0.
8 different goal scorers in the whole game.
8 in the whole game. Crazy. Goal number 5, however, is a nice, refreshing palate cleanser for Sheffield because nobody is at fault here, Sean.
No dunce.
It's just an absolutely quality right foot shot by Anthony Gordon.
No keeper.
This is why they got him from Everton.
45 mil.
Yep.
Worth it if you're going to score like this.
Yeah. Goalkeeper's got no chance. Defenders are all in the right place. They're perfectly lined up. There's not a lot you can do about a big swinging shot like that. That's curving great and skims that right-hand post. It is training ground perfection.
Powerful, precise, along the ground.
It's like watching myself play football again.
So goal number 6,
Yeah.
because there's more than 6.
6. Core. Nosebleed goals.
Who's at fault, Carl?
It's Robinson for me.
What's he doing?
What has he done? And what he's done is let Almiron straight through the middle because he is about 5 yards too far to his right. He's supposed to be in a centre-back position, chose to be a CDM.
And he looks very, very silly chasing after Almiron.
He does. Almiron is far too fast.
There's no chance he's getting to him. All Almiron does is run. Right? The only thing he's good at in football is running.
The fact that Almiron himself is dead centre for this, to be collected and then have that lay off, is brilliant. Remarkable from Almiron. And the finish, no one's saving that.
Everyone just wanted to score. I'm surprised.
So much power.
I'm surprised Pope didn't get up there.
Goal number 7.
Oh yeah, 7. We almost done.
We're almost done. There's only 2 left. Goal number 7. Sean, who scored? Who's at fault?
Traore.
What's he doing?
What's he done?
I'll tell you what he's done. He has absolutely slept on it. He's received a pass. He's then tried to one-touch pass that off to his teammate, but he's made an absolute hash of it. It's gone far too far. It's been picked up by Newcastle, run in, and within a couple of seconds, there's a bit of a fumble here where it's a lucky deflection, but it lands straight at the feet of Bruno Guimaraes, who then buries it from about 8 yards away with no one in the way. We've had to give it to Traore because it is quite simply a poor touch that transfers the possession over within 10 seconds of the goal going in. He's the dunce of this one. It is 7-0 at this point now, and they've all just turned off. And I'm not surprised.
I mean, the best thing to do when you're 6-0 down is start the other team's counter-attack for them.
Sheffield learning some very hard lessons this weekend.
But Carl, guess what?
Doesn't end there, does it?
Guess what? He's at the bloody hat-trick. Ahmed Hozic. He's done it again.
Hodzic with a hat-trick of howlers.
He's made it a third.
The triple dunce. He was wearing 3 of these hats today.
I mean, it's the performance of a lifetime for this show.
I know, right?
We've got to get a picture of him. Alan Shearer, get out of it.
Yeah,
we don't want you anymore.
We've got more frames. We're going to have Hodzic over there on the dance corner.
I want Anel Hodzic in that frame by tomorrow.
What's he done, Sean?
He's done a Will NE in the Sidemen charity match.
Yeah.
He's committed far too early to the ground.
Isak has absolutely sent him for the mail.
He's laid there like this.
He got airborne. He was inches from the ground, flying past as Isak just went, nope, where? Completely and utterly turned. And Isak had about 20 minutes to pass it straight through the goalkeeper.
I mean, people might blame the keeper here.
Absolutely not. The keeper committed, made himself big.
No, but they have lost 8-0. So the keeper might catch some flack. But Fotheringham, he's done nothing wrong.
Even by our own evidence, a world-class Courtois keeper, Neuer, ter Stegen, could not have saved any more of these shots because every single one of the people at fault for these goals is a defender or a midfielder. None of them are the goalkeeper, with the exception of that header from earlier, because he did dive far too late. But if he'd have saved that one, great, still 7-0 at this point. He came out, made himself big. That's all you can ask of a goalie.
Ahmed Hozic is the goat of this show now.
Ahmed Hodzic, we're going to start a leaderboard of absolute howlers, and at the end of the Premier League season, we're going to see who's responsible for conceding the most goals. And Hodzic, you're already leagues ahead of everybody else, my friend, closely followed by Christian Romero.
Yeah, he's only one ahead, but Romero's were both unlucky.
Hodzic was just complete complacency.
Ahmed Hozic scored a hat-trick on his own without unfortunate...
My guy better get dropped.
No, I want him to start. Give us content.
We want more content.
Content!
So with that, 8-0 to Newcastle, rounds up this week's What's He Doing?
What's he done?
Why has he done that?
I don't know.
And on that note, Please feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Weekly action brought to you here by 48 Hours Football. I'm Carl,
I'm Sean.
and we will see you next week. Peace.
Subscribe.